Good morning, everybody. Joe Bernstein here today. So you know me, you know what I help people do. I help people take their experience of life about something they want to change, something they want to create, something they want to shift, something they want to grow, basically something that's not working or doesn't fit anymore, and turn it into an opportunity to create the life that we want. Right. So examples might be guys hire me after separation or divorce or a breakup, or people hire me when they're really successful in their business or their career, but they're like, they're not feeling it anymore. They want to make a switch in the next year or two. So, really, a lot of the work I do is about mindset. It's about creating a different mindset. It's about creating a different mind body experience. It's about learning to shift from one way of seeing the world to another. And one of the primary shifts that you'll hear me talk about is consumer to creator, right? The consumer is someone who's waiting for circumstance, situation, other people, the world around him to give him what he wants, to create what he wants. And he blames others for not having the things that he wants in this life. He stays in this consumer mindset. He consumes the beliefs of himself, of the world, of his value that the world has given him, rather than creates his own beliefs. He consumes the negative thoughts that happen in his mind rather than consciously replacing them with positive thoughts. So I could go off on this forever. I'm actually going to write more about consumer to creator here soon. But what I want to share with you is a story about something that happened to me on Saturday. So I pride myself on being on time or early. It's like a big part of my life. One of my values is integrity, and I really value being on time or early to things. But this attachment to being on time or being early, I know, is somewhat related to a part of me that doesn't ever want to fuck up. It thinks that people won't like me, won't appreciate me, won't value me when I fuck up. So I've been actually learning to push the envelope a little bit more, cut things a little closer, to not be as perfect. It's part of my growth path. If I'm working with someone who has a really hard time getting to places on time, has a really hard time following through with things, I'm going to challenge them to step up and to push themselves and to use some consciousness and some discipline to get there. But if I'm working with someone like me who's super uptight about being somewhere, then we're limiting ourselves. So I might challenge them to expand and to be a little less uptight about it. So that's what I've been doing with myself. On Saturday, I was really, really excited for the day that I had planned ahead of me. I was going to go out to the suburbs, to Silver Spring, to be part of a friend of mine's meditation class. He was teaching it. The second time he's teaching it. This is really a big stretch for him. He's excited to be doing it. And in fact, he's someone that I really connect with. I think he's awesome. I appreciate. I have joy being around. He's also a really interesting human being. He's successful in business. So he's someone I want to learn from. And he's an Orthodox Jew, and the guys who are going to be there are going to be from his synagogue. So I was looking to connect with my roots, to connect with mindfulness and meditation in Jewish community, right? So I was looking to gain all that. And then I had this potluck at the farm that does my CSA. And then I had this, concert with a couple of my friends. So I was really excited about getting all of this done. And so what did I do? I woke up really early. The class is at 10 a.m. And I started getting myself prepared. But something happened. I lost time. My partner, she's been sick. She was traveling. She was away at a conference. And I ended up messaging with her, I should say. And I lost track of time. And then I got on Facebook because, as you can see, I've been on Facebook more to put live content and to put writings and things out. So I got on Facebook a little bit just to check what was up, see if there's anything I need to respond to. And I lost time. So what ended up happening was I now found myself in this position where I was like, okay, check it out. I want to go to the farmer's market. I want to check if they have this special butter. It's like right up the street from you. So I go to my coffee shop, I get coffee. Now at this point, I've timed everything perfectly. Just perfect. If I go get the coffee, if I go look for this butter, grab a couple things from the farmer's market, I'll be there just on time, right? And so what ends up happening is I get there and I get my coffee, I get my cheese, I get my apples, and then I lost my sunglasses. And I never buy nicer sunglasses. I always buy like $10, $15 sunglasses. But I went to Nordstrom's Rack recently, or Saks Off Fifth, one of the two, and I got myself like a $100 pair of sunglasses. So now I've lost these sunglasses and I have a choice. I can either go back and look for them, which means I'll 100% be late to this meditation, or I can let them go, right? So I decided I'm going to go back and look for them. I'll definitely find them. So I go back, I look for them. I don't find them. Instead of getting upset, I just let it go, right? It's just sunglasses, it's just money. What can I do to make up that money? And then I'm getting there and I have this other choice where it's like, okay, I know here's the deal. He's Orthodox. He doesn't actually go ahead and check his cell phone or his email at any point on a Saturday. So I have no way of getting in touch with this guy to see if he'll be around, to see if he'll wait for me. So I decide I'm going to drive out anyway. At this point, I could decide to stay home. I could decide I'm embarrassed. I could decide that I fucked up already. And if I'm not going to be on time, then I have to be perfect and I can't go. But I decide to go. And on the way up, I can feel myself starting to build this like shame of like, what's wrong with you? Why did you mess this up? You know, you've missed your opportunity. You've lost your opportunity. You're going to screw this up. So what ends up happening is I start coaching myself on the car ride out there. I decide right then and there that if I miss this meditation, if I miss this connection opportunity, this growth opportunity to be in community and to meditate with some older men who can help me reconnect with Jewish roots and spiritual roots, then I'm still going to make the best of it. So I start figuring out, what can I do? Now, first of all, this is what I want you to pay attention to. If you're still listening, here's the tool. Rather than focusing on what we've lost, the creator asks, what can I create? What can I gain? And the creator asks, what is this teaching me? So I had to quickly identify, what am I losing? I'm losing connection with this man. How can I replace that? Well, I can go ahead and send him a nice message and then ask for some one-on-one time or invite him out to my place and, you know, offer him a meal or to offer to, you know, buy him lunch or something, or just to offer time. I can go out of my way to take responsibility for the impact of me not being there and for me being late. And I can offer the connection. So the connection is not lost. What else did I lose? I lost a mindful morning because he was going to teach meditation. And I love meditation, but I normally almost do it myself all the time. And no one's teaching me. So I lost opportunity to meditate. Well, what can I do? I can go into a local park and meditate if I want. I can go home and meditate if I want. And then I also thought, you know, I'm going to miss this connection with Jewish roots, with men who practice in the Orthodox Jewish faith. So how can I reconnect with that? Well, the lucky thing is I was actually going to an area, to a neighborhood where my grandfather and grandmother lived close. And I grew up with my grandfather, who was the most loving and warm and the most practicing Jewish man that I was close to. He used to take us to this park right by where this guy lives. So I decided, you know what, if I miss this thing, I'm going to check the box of mindfulness. I'm going to check the box of spiritual connection to Judaism. I'm going to reminisce about my childhood growing up. I'm going to reminisce about my grandfather growing up. So of course I get there and it's 15 minutes after 10 and I open the door and he's already downstairs. He's already started the meditation. I didn't want to interrupt. So I left and I decided to go to the park, and I went to the park and I walked and I reminisced about my childhood, and I saw the beautiful trees and I felt the crisp air, and I had a very mindful walk, a walking meditation. And then I came across Brookside Gardens, which is this beautiful gardens that my grandfather used to take us to growing up. And I was just blown away by the beauty of this garden on a crisp, brisk, cool winter morning. There was still so much color. There was still so much vibrancy. There was all these beautiful little ponds and streams and little like water features set up. There were still rose bushes blooming tremendously. And it was very quiet. There weren't that many people out there. So I had a meditation where I sat on a bench. The message on the bench was a dedication, a memorial to someone that was really about love and connection. And I really enjoyed it. So I meditated outside in nature. I got to walk amongst the trees with the beautiful leaves out changing color. And I got to have this experience of connecting with my Jewish heritage, connecting with my grandfather, connecting to my roots. And along the experience of this walk, I started recognizing like how loved I was growing up and how much attention my family gave us growing up and how connected we actually were. And sometimes I forget the good parts of my childhood. So this experience where I could have went into shame, where I could have went into disconnection, where I could have focused on what I lost, and it could have made my day completely fucked up. It could have ruined my day, put me in a bad mood for the rest of the day, ended up being one of the most beautiful, amazing, mindful, connecting, powerful experiences I've had in a long, long time. And then, of course, the creator also not just asks, what can I gain or what can I create, rather than what did I lose? The creator asks, what is this here to teach me? What is this moment teaching me? So what I decided in that moment was, I'm trying to do too much. I wanted to exercise. I wanted to stretch. I wanted to connect with my partner. I wanted to go to the farmer's market. I wanted to get coffee. I wanted to go to this meditation. I wanted to make this potluck. I wanted to have some time in the afternoon to spend by myself doing some work on Mankind Project stuff. I wanted to actually meet up with my friend before the concert, and I want to enjoy the concert. The lesson was, Joe, it's too much for one day. It's too much for one day. I'd just been telling someone how I never take the whole weekend off and just do nothing, how I never take a whole afternoon off and just do nothing. So instead, I decided, you know what? I'm going to skip the potluck. I'm going to luxuriate. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to, sweat in the steam room and the sauna. I'm going to take a nice walk in my neighborhood after I come back from the nice long walk through Wheaton Regional Park and through Brookside Gardens. But the point is, every moment that we feel like we're losing something, or that we're screwing up, or that we missed an opportunity, or that somebody picked someone else, or we go through anything in our life that feels like a loss, it feels like struggle, it feels like an obstacle, it feels like a setback. The question is, are you going to focus on what you lost? Are you going to focus on what it means about some negative experience of who you are? Are you going to focus on what you can create? Are you going to focus on what you can gain? Are you going to focus on the opportunity at hand? Are you going to stay committed to growth and focus on what you can learn? So these are the questions. So what did I lose? Figure out what you're actually losing, and not just time, money, energy, not just the resources. What's the meaning behind what you're losing? Right? Connection, mindfulness, sensuality, love, purpose, community. These are the things we're usually losing. Significance. What can I create or gain to replace the thing I've lost? And then what is this here to teach me, and how can I course correct and adjust my life to learn from this perspective? So that's what I got for you today. Just for today, if you find yourself getting negative at any situation, if you find yourself focusing on what you don't have or focusing on what you lost, I'm going to challenge you right now. Use these 3 questions. Become a creator. Like John Wooden says behind me, never let what you can't do interfere with what you can do. Focus on what you have, what you can create, and what you want to have in this life, and what you can learn, and your life will be full of meaning, full of purpose, and you'll always figure out ways to go after the things you want, because you'll get rid of a lot of negative messages that come with the day-to-day experience of life and not being perfect. So that's what I got for you today. If you're feeling this message, comment below. I know this one's a little bit longer than I usually go, but I hope it's powerful. I hope it helps. And really, I want you to think about the times in your life that you've had the most powerful days and experiences, and how many little things could have gotten in the way. You're being a creator in these moments. We all have this capacity. It's just a matter of remembering and returning to our own personal power, our own sense of love, our own sense of freedom, our own sense of purpose and mission and values. That's what I got. Peace. I'm out.